Hi, welcome into the channel. My name is Yemi,
And I'm Talks.
and we're here again with you to continue the journey of how we are taking this trip of living our best lives. Um, Retirement and semi retirement over here. So, what did we do? You know, a lot of people look at the dream of retiring early or retiring at the normal age or even living internationally, and they go, oh, I can never achieve that. I'm not a trust fund baby. I don't have millions saved. But we're here to show you that if we can do it,
You can.
so can you. Trust us, okay? So last time we talked about the 5 things that helped us as we started our journey. The first thing that we talked about was reviewing the expenses. You know, what money is going out, and the second thing was the debt. Okay, how do we cut down on the debt that we have? How do we cut down on not getting into more debt? The third thing that we talked about is where else can we get some money to put into this bucket, right? So, and the fourth thing was review your family obligations, and fifth thing, the fifth thing that we talked about was what countries speak to you. You know, making a list and visiting those countries. So today we're gonna focus on the first three, and be a little bit more open with you as to how we did that journey. So the first thing we did was looking at our expenses, right? How did we do this?
Well, first of all, we wrote down where our money was going. Every penny we spent, we wrote down what it was for. So we're able to look at it from at a glance where all the money was going. And then we decided on what were not necessary for us, what we could cut. Things like cable was the first to take the hit because we did not understand why we needed cable and say maybe Hulu and Netflix at the same time.
Yes.
So cable was the first to take the hit, and after a while we looked at Hulu and Netflix and decided maybe we should only keep one. So one of them went by the wayside too. Mm-hmm. So basically things like that, when you look, you will spot them when you look at your expenses. Where if you write down and you're honest with yourself as to where your money is going, you'll be able to figure out which ones were not necessary. And if you already made the expenses, maybe that will tell you not to make it in the future.
I gotta tell you, this one is a tough one. Because you know how we all like things that we like, you know, it doesn't make sense. We look at how much we're spending on it, but it gives us happiness, you know, it gives us pleasure. Maybe I shouldn't say happiness. It gives us pleasure. So this is going to be brutal, okay? And that's why we said honest. You know, if you do it in a dishonest way, you probably are only going to be able to save a little bit of money. But if you're truly honest, it's like getting a scissors and going, okay, what can I literally cut off? And if it helps you to print out where all your money is going and literally take the scissors and cut those items, you know, maybe that will give you some visceral satisfaction that, no, I'm not doing this one again. No, I'm not doing cable again. No, I don't have to have Hulu and Netflix together.
Yes.
You know, just go through it. This is going to be the longest part.
Yes, and you have to demarcate between wants and needs.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't need it, maybe you shouldn't want it.
Well, I mean, that's hard, to be honest. Let's be real.
Maybe.
That's kind of hard. So we get it. There's still some things we still kept on there, you know, as honest and brutally decisive that we were, but sometimes things just take a little while. So you know what your situation is. You know in your heart those things that you think you cannot live without. And then those things that you know you can just leave by the wayside. Nobody else can figure this out to you. If we're sitting here telling you that Hulu wasn't important to us back then, we've since come back on it and we have it again. But if we're sitting down here telling you,
have Netflix.
Yeah, we do not have Netflix. So you just have to figure out what's important to you. And just because you cut something now on your path to getting somewhere, that doesn't mean it's lost to you forever. You know, when things look a little bit better, when you're now when you have better handle on the money, you can start to put some things back if they were that important to you. So yeah. So that was what we did first, and then we looked at the debt. Yes. Okay. So we often say that the first thing to do when you find yourself in a hole is what?
Stop digging.
Stop digging. We gotta stop, because if you just keep digging, you're just gonna keep sinking. So one of the things that you have to be aware of is just to stop incurring more debt. I mean, and this ties in with the first thing we talked about, the expenses. You know, where are you creating this debt? Where is this money? Money waste, where is it coming from? So let's plug it. You know, where's the leak? Let's go on ahead and plug that. The old debt that you already have, you'll work a little harder to bring those numbers down, to bring those figures down, and things will start to look better once you stop digging that hole. You know, when all you have to do now is feel it. You know, it's a whole different scenario then, right? Because there's no more damage that you're doing. We're just trying to repair the damage that's already been done. Definitely. A quick tip here. This is a real tip. One of the things that we did, we promised you full transparency here as you start your journey. One of the things that we did as we started this journey was looking at our expenses as far as financial institutions. We knew we wanted to fly internationally. We knew we wanted to live internationally for extended periods of time. So we had to look at what banks were dipping into our pocket. You know, we tried to eliminate all those banking fees, knowing that we will be traveling internationally. We decided to seek out financial institutions that actually don't have foreign transaction fees. A lot of your banking institutions will. So please make sure you're not giving your hard-earned money away to any financial institution. Check out credit unions. Some credit unions don't have the foreign transaction fees. Also, when you are traveling internationally, at some point you're going to need cash. There are lots of cultures that are cash heavy. Yes, credit cards is widely acceptable globally, but there will be those places, I don't know about you guys, but we like the off the beaten path, you know, the hole in the wall places where the locals actually go. Some of the mom and pop places may not have ability to accept credit cards.
So cash is king.
Yes, cash is king, and you're going to need cash. So the other thing that we did, and start this now, people, do not wait until you're in that foreign country. The other thing that we did was look for financial institutions that would allow us to get money from anywhere in the world at the ATMs. And if the ATMs charged us, we needed somewhere that would give us back that money. So we have not paid 1 penny in ATM fees as we've traveled the globe, to Europe, to Asia, to South America. We haven't had to spend any money because we picked a financial institution that even when we go to that ATM in wherever it is in the world and we get out money, when the ATM charges that money, our financial institution just puts the money right back, the fees. We don't even have to text, we don't have to call, you don't have to email, it's automatic. What a wonderful thing that you don't have to worry about that. And we're going to share the name of that financial institution, but that institution is very widely known, and it is, what's the name of that bank? Schwab, Charles Schwab. Thank you. Charles Schwab. So we'll put the link down below. Make sure that you check it out. You decide for yourself if this is a valuable tool for you to use. If you want free money for banking with an institution that would refund your ATM fees and doesn't have any foreign transaction fees, then please check it out. This is completely for your benefit. We do not make any money from this.
Yes, and when you consider that there are some banks in the US that actually charge you to put your money in the banks, you probably want to look for banks that will not charge you, to take your money, because it's your money, and they shouldn't be charging you for putting your money in the bank.
I agree. I mean, you worked hard for that money. might let some financial institution take a cut of it. Also, check out some credit unions, online credit unions. There are quite a few reputable ones. Make sure whichever one you choose, though, make sure that they're backed with FDIC. Make sure that your money is insured, okay, in case anything happens. You worked hard. I don't know about you guys. We worked hard, so hard. As we shared in our initial videos, we ran businesses and we had employees, we ran payrolls, we had people who literally depended on us for their livelihood. So whatever money we made, we had to be frugal with it, right? We had to be sensible. I'm not working hard to pay some financial institution. I pay enough fees, right? Pay enough fees. So then the third thing we're gonna talk about is, okay, so you got this bucket. You've looked honestly and brutally at your expenses, okay? You have tried to stop digging the hole. You're feeling it. You know, you're trying to figure out how to not make the hole bigger. Well, then how about looking for other sources of income? Some creative sources of income. Is there anything else that you can do to bring in a little bit more cash? Before we even talk about that, how about the things you already have? What did we do? We sold a lot of stuff, people. We did.
Yeah, things that we had accumulated over the years, but we did not have the use for. And rather than keeping it in storage, on the off chance that maybe we will use it at some point in the future, we decided they were just not, we didn't need them anymore. So there was no point keeping them in storage. So we sold them as a way of raising, padding our bank accounts. So it's one thing to do.
Yeah, that padding is fantastic. And folks, if you're with us, if you're like us, sorry, I don't know what was that on my lip. If you are like us, when you move, we did the same. We had things in boxes in the basement that we never opened back up. We had things, we had things in boxes that we never opened up. And once we decided to go on this path, we had to be honest and go, okay, which things am I holding on to emotionally? What is this item serving? Is it serving me anything useful? Or does it need to go to somebody else that can actually use it?
Yeah.
So yeah.
My rule of thumb is if you have something that you haven't used in the last 3 years, maybe you don't need it.
It's always mind-boggling to me how we have a lot of storage places in North America, specifically America, in the US. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, do not pay somebody to keep the stuff that you're not using. Think about it, people. Do not pay somebody to keep the stuff that is of no use to you. You're not using it while it's in the storage. So guys, rid yourselves of all those emotional items. Free yourself. You'll find your shoulders will be lighter. You'll walk a little lighter. Let's get rid of all that stuff and make some money in the process. Because somebody's junk is somebody else's treasure.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what they say? Treasure.
Yeah, treasure.
Yeah, treasure. What is treasure? Treasure. I can't speak today, people. I am so sorry. But anyway, so that's what we did. Not continuing this conversation about pivoting and finding other creative ways of income. We already talked about the selling of the stuff. Maybe use your expertise. Every single one of us has some expertise. You may not think it's valuable, but you'll be surprised. And there's so many sites now that will provide you with a platform to share those expertise. I mean, we're in what we call a gig economy. A lot of people are just doing gigs right now.
Yes.
So why not get into? Is there a gig that you can provide?
Yes. If you have a hobby that you can, turn into cash, so rather than make that mat for your neighbor for free, charge him or $5 or however much you want to charge, and
Yes.
So if you can monetize your hobby, that would be great.
Yes.
And
Yes, and there's so many platforms. I mean, if it's crafts, if it's teaching someone how to do skills, if it's being a virtual assistant, I mean, there's just so many things out there that you can just do it as gigs. You only do it when you need some money, and when you don't have to show up. You're not clocking in.
Yeah.
You know, you literally own your hours and you can decide how to spend it.
Yeah. Or
So,
you get back from work and you decide to put, you spend another 1 or 2 hours doing things that are not exactly related to the work that you've left because your work is done for the day, and then you can use those hours to do things that make you extra money without that's not going back to to the company.
exactly, folks. Well, we're here to tell you this is possible. This isn't a dream in the sky. If you wish to travel more, if you wish to retire early, stick with us. Okay, stick with us. We have so much more information to share because we're going through this. We started this journey already over 2 years, about 3.5 years ago, actually. So we've walked the walk. So why we've done the work for you. So you don't have to use your valuable time. We wish we had all this information when we started. You know, now there are different places you can find this information, but what we're trying to do on this platform, on this channel, is collate, gather all of that information so you have just one source to get all that stuff that you will need. Okay.
Yeah.
We thank you for joining us again today. If you've gotten any valuable tidbit from this information at all, please share this video with your loved ones. You know, sharing is caring. So we're definitely not in the habit of gatekeeping valuable information. So please share with your community, share with your village.
And please like and subscribe.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your day. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.